Have you ever been in a situation where someone is coming to you 100% looking like they want to fight with you? What was your response? Did you remember all the self-defense moves that you learned on YouTube and you respond calmly and thinking logically and rationally? Chances are you didn't do that. A lot of times when we face this type of situations, our mind just goes blank like that. It just stops working and we're reacting through our survival brains. You see, that is anxiety. When anxiety happens, our rational brains just shut down and we start processing in the situation with our survival brain, with our primitive survival brain. This brain is also known as the old brain because it is old. It was there even before our rational mind existed. So the key point is anxiety is controlled by survival brain. So to see the science behind it, humans have two different brains which evolved in different times. One is the old brain, which includes the autonomic nervous system. It regulates our primitive survival brain. It's just there for survival. No logic, no planning. It's just like a fight or flight kind of brain. So around 1 million years ago, another part of the brain developed, which is called the prefrontal cortex. This is part of the brain which is responsible for planning, reasoning, and predicting. It allows us to kind of adapt to situations and to believe in things. So anxiety happens when the prefrontal cortex, or this reasoning mind, doesn't have enough information to predict what exactly could happen. So when we are anxious, we're using this survival brain or this old brain, but it is not actually useful in real life problems. Yeah, it was really useful when those cavemen, face a dangerous animal. There would be that immediate fight or flight response. But now we're not facing a tiger. So this brain, instead of giving us solutions, it is depriving us from our sleep, making us think about bad scenarios that could happen. So how can we stop anxiety? But first, let's see the equation or the formula for anxiety. Fear plus uncertainty equals anxiety. Fear is a quick response after we face a difficult situation because it helps us to survive and that leads to results. Usually this is called reward-based learning. The more rewarding the result is, the more our brain loves it. For example, when you face a tiger, that generates fear and your behavior is going to be like just running. And what is the reward? Survival. So in order for anxiety to happen for you, there has to be a trigger. And how you respond to these triggers will dictate whether you're going to stay in the anxiety or not. Remember the equation. Anxiety thrives through uncertainty. When your prefrontal cortex doesn't have enough information, it will start generating what-if scenarios. And our brains cannot differentiate between real-life problems and mind-made imaginary problems. So after this process happens, this will lead you to reward-based addictive activities, to gain comfort. That's why a lot of people use alcohol, pornography, junk food to escape from anxiety because it gives them a sense of relaxation by making them feel ill. But that is only a temporary fix. So what should you do for the long-term fix? Step 1 is self-awareness. Whenever you feel anxious, you need to be aware of these thoughts. That's why meditation is really helpful. It helps you to have that gap between you and your feelings. So after being aware, you need to detach yourself from these thoughts. Just observe them. Observe your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions as if you were watching a TV. Step 2 is to just ask yourself one question. Is it real or imaginary? For example, if you hear one of your family members, are getting in danger, that is a fact. I'll come back to this later, but sometimes there are going to be some imaginary, what if scenarios in your mind. For example, those what if scenarios like, what if my daughter gets sick? What if I lose my job? What if it doesn't work out? You see, these are mind-created imaginary thoughts. So you need to practice to just cut them off right away. In practice, the more aware you become, the better you'll become just shutting off this type of thoughts and punching them in the face. But when it is a fact, when it is a real life problem, I want you to either get up and take action and fix it, or to allow it to be. Don't resist it. What is the sensation of this anxiety? Be present and just observe it and let it be. When you let it be, in time, it will lose its energy on you because you're not fighting it in the first place. But again, for the long-term solution, you need one more step, which is step 3, journal it. I want you to write them down, the thoughts that you were thinking at that moment, how did you feel, and also the triggers, what triggered this type of emotions. So every 3 days or every week or so, go back to your notes, go back to what you have written, and just study yourself. Learn more about yourself. What triggers your anxiety? This is the best thing that you can do to have that long-term solution. Let me give you one bonus tip because it is crucial. Every single day, after you wake up, have affirmation that are going to tell you that you're free from your anxiety. You're free from negativity or any anxious feelings. That will reprogram your subconscious mind to have more positive outlook towards life. Alright guys, so I hope you found this video helpful and knowledgeable. I hope it will help you out to fight with your anxiety, and I really appreciate you watching it. Thanks for watching. Ciao.